Well, I figured I'd change the scenery for you guys. A couple light switches behind me. Now that's a great background right there. So I remember my foot went to ESETI. What was his name? That worked on my foot, did that like energetic healing, and man, I've had a long run of good times with my foot until I got back from this little trip I took. And I did do a little bit of hiking and stuff, as I talked to you about, I kind of had a little, well, I know I told Patreon, I don't know if I said this publicly yet on YouTube, but I took a little detour at one point to do some drone footage of like a little treasure hunt site. It was hours away, but I was like, and I knew this in advance. I was like, I might want to take my drone with me. I mean, I'm not like going to go real hunting, treasure hunting, but get some footage, of some areas, look at some things. And so I took a little detour for a brief period of time, but I did some climbing and hiking, if you will, and got back home. A few days went by, hey, everything's fine. And then I'd say about 3 days ago, since you're seeing this tomorrow, my foot started hurting. And as I'm sitting here talking to you right now, it is going up my leg and into my left buttocks, which means it is a bad day. Those are like the worst out of the good and bad things that I have. And got Bill. Yes, I did. So let me just put that on vibrate in case he keeps going back and forth. Anyway, so yeah, I'm a little bit of pain over here at the moment. I had a long run of goodness for my foot. Again, I don't know, was it from the hiking or not, because it didn't happen till I got home, so I'm not sure. But anyways, this video, someone had posted to Clif, and he forwarded it to me in Bix, and said, hey, it sounds like a webbot hit happening right now. And I'm reading it, like, yeah, you know what? I think you're right. And this is something from 2016, so, it's not like I would remember this, or most people would remember an old Alta report, thing that wasn't like huge, like the Israeli mistake or one of these other things that we just remember, $600 silver coming at some point. This was about the French government falling and like stuff. So he says, Clif forwarded it to me in Bix, so I'll just read it to you as he sent it. Clif, I have not heard you or anyone else mention your Franco Pop section of your November 2016 Alta report. And this is what it says. The data sets are indicating that the French popular retirement system, or systems, will be in dire disarray as their links to corruption in the markets in the USA banking system are exposed as the Federal Reserve banking system goes into hyperinflation shock and credit freeze. The corruption's cleansing within the USA POP fracturing political system. Have we been experiencing a fractured political system here recently? Oh my goodness, that's true. And the breakdown in the USA bonds, as well as global bond market, which has kind of been happening lately too with the stock market, okay, are indicated to destroy the retirement system of Franco Pop, meaning France. As may be expected, this will not be well received. The data is showing very large, angry protests and attacks on government offices. The data sets are saying that the French government will collapse under the popular outrage and that French corporations will be within days of failing as their real costs for pensions begin to become evident. This retirement crisis in France is indicated to be the fuse for the next EU crisis of existence. Apparently, EU-mandated retirement policies will be blamed in part for the crack-up of the French government and the defaulting on pensions. Much more here, he says. Very large emotional issue that will carry French people into a new government as well as the start of a new economic structure. However, the data sets will not be examined further due to the sheer volume of data to process. So I don't know if this is more of that or the guy commenting. He says, months ago there was much, yeah, this is the guy commenting. Months ago there was much mentioned about the retirement system in France, and more lately there seems to be little mention of it. I certainly believe that this seems to be a rather spot-on Webbot hit and hope to hear your discussion sometime. If there are any temporal markers associated with the French Revolution 2.0, I hope to hear about those as well. So, I mean, look, the French are protesting $7 a gallon gas. That's what the news is, I've heard on the news. Lamestream media. Is that old girl having a dream? She's having a dream. Bailey. Bailey. Oh. Is that old girl having a dream over there? Anyways. But I saw a video of somebody talking in France, one of the protesters, and I thought, I wonder if I ought to do a video on this. And I think I did send it to myself. I haven't done the video yet, if I'm going to or not, but I did send it to myself. I thought, so this is the real reason of the protests. And one of the things they were talking about was this standard of living crumbling. Their entire standard of living over in France is crumbling before their eyes, and they've had enough. Trying to be taxed to death, everything's expensive, they can't live like they used to, they've got immigrants coming in, and they've just had enough. They said it was not just one thing, it was just a bunch of things, we just had enough. And I didn't get to listen to or read the rest of it or any of it, so maybe there's something there about the pensions, I don't know. But nonetheless, talk about the Franco Pop and French Revolution 2.0 coming. And this weekend they said it's supposed to be the worst of it. At least up to date anyways. Maybe next week will be even worse, who knows. So I thought that was interesting. Hey, there's a Webbot hit from basically 2 years ago. 2016, November, I think the guy said, November Alta report. 2016, 2017, 2018, we just passed November. So this is one of those things I say, I know there's stuff in the Webbot that sometimes sounds like, whoa, when's that going to happen? Or, well, he says next summer, and then next summer comes. No. Maybe he meant winter. Nope, not there either. Okay. I must have just missed it. Then 2 years later, boom, there it is, right in your face. But this isn't like the end result of me saying, hey guys, you remember when the French Revolution 2.0 happened? Let me do a Webbot recap for you from November. Like, it's happening now. So I don't know what this is going to devolve into over in France. Are they about to replace the whole government and get away from the EU and all this stuff? I mean, maybe. But anyways, I thought that was worthy of at least doing a video, Take care.